Semen retention and the broader spiritual science surrounding sexual energy have intrigued mystics, yogis, and philosophers for centuries. Beyond the superficial advice of don't spill your seed, there lies an intricate spiritual mechanism that connects sexual energy to personal growth and self-realization. The ancient traditions of Tantra, Taoism, and Hermeticism all discuss the potential locked within sexual energy, portraying it as one of the most potent forces that can be harnessed for spiritual elevation. In this video, we will delve deep into the science of sexual energy, the significance of semen retention, and how mastering these aspects can be transformative not just on a physical level, but also for mental clarity and spiritual expansion. In modern self-improvement and wellness discussions, the focus often revolves around dopamine regulation and the temporary benefits of abstaining from sexual release. While these topics hold merit, they only scratch the surface of what semen retention is capable of unlocking within you. To truly comprehend the profound nature of semen retention, it's crucial to explore the spiritual, energetic, and psychological dimensions that are rarely discussed. By aligning our sexual energy with spiritual principles, we can enter a higher plane of consciousness, awakening the latent power within us. This video will break down the subject into several important sections, each examining a different facet of semen retention and its spiritual implications. Whether you're on a journey of self-discovery, spirituality, or simply looking to better understand the role of sexual energy in human potential, this deep dive will provide clarity and insight into an often misunderstood practice. Let us begin by examining the very nature of sexual energy and why ancient spiritual systems regarded it as sacred. We will then move into understanding how semen retention plays a crucial role in directing that energy toward higher purposes, followed by practical steps to integrate this spiritual science into daily life. Sexual energy as life force. Sexual energy is far more than just the biological impulse for procreation. In many ancient spiritual traditions, it is seen as a fundamental life force that governs not only physical vitality but also emotional and mental well-being. In Eastern philosophy, this energy is often referred to as prana or chi, the subtle force that animates all living beings. Sexual energy is a concentrated form of this life force, capable of creating life. But when channeled inwardly, it also has the power to create personal transformation. In Tantra, this energy is called Shakti, which represents the dynamic, creative force of the universe. When unbridled, sexual energy is outwardly directed toward physical pleasure and reproduction. However, the same energy can be internalized and transmuted to fuel higher states of consciousness. The difference between one who squanders their sexual energy and one who conserves and channels it is the difference between stagnation and spiritual growth. Sexual energy, when harnessed correctly, is seen as the key to unlocking higher states of awareness, creativity, and personal mastery. Western esoteric traditions such as Hermeticism and alchemy also recognize the profound impact of sexual energy on spiritual development. Alchemists viewed sexual energy as the prima materia, or the essential substance that could be transformed into spiritual gold. In Hermetic teachings, sexual energy is the bridge between the material and the divine, symbolizing the union of opposites, body and soul, earth and spirit. Thus, the control and transmutation of sexual energy become the core of the alchemical process of self-transformation. Through semen retention, we gain access to this life force in its most potent form. Instead of dissipating it outwardly, we cultivate it within, using it as fuel for higher spiritual pursuits. The key lies in learning how to transmute this energy, rather than merely suppressing it. This understanding leads to a deeper realization. Sexual energy is not something to be feared or repressed, but rather a tool that can be elevated to serve our highest goals. The spiritual role of semen retention. Semen retention, in the context of spiritual growth, is not simply abstinence or celibacy. It is an intentional practice aimed at preserving vital life force and redirecting it toward self-mastery and enlightenment. In spiritual traditions like Taoism and Tantra, semen retention is seen as a path to cultivating inner power. The act of withholding ejaculation does not mean rejecting sexuality, but rather transforming sexual impulses into spiritual energy. Semen, in its most refined essence, is the physical manifestation of our creative potential. It carries the concentrated nutrients and energy required to produce life, making it one of the most potent substances the body generates. When retained, this energy doesn't merely sit idle. Instead, it is absorbed back into the body and mind, fostering mental clarity, emotional stability, and enhanced physical vitality. The spiritual significance of this process lies in the concept of transmutation, the alchemical transformation of raw sexual energy into higher vibrational forms, which fuel spiritual awareness and higher states of consciousness. The retention of semen has been practiced by yogis, monks, and ascetics throughout history to facilitate deeper states of meditation and focus. According to yogic philosophy, sexual energy resides in the root chakra, the Muladhara. By conserving this energy, it can rise through the chakras, activating and purifying each energy center. The ultimate goal of this practice is to awaken the Kundalini, the dormant spiritual energy coiled at the base of the spine, which when activated brings about enlightenment and cosmic consciousness. The path of semen retention is not devoid of challenges. The human mind is often conditioned by societal norms that equate masculinity with sexual conquest and ejaculation. Overcoming these deep-seated beliefs requires mental discipline and a shift in perception. Through practices like meditation, breathwork, and focused intention, one can learn to transmute sexual urges into higher forms of creativity and spiritual insight. This process not only elevates personal power, but also leads to a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. The science of energy transmutation. The key to semen retention lies in the concept of energy transmutation. Without proper understanding, simply withholding ejaculation may lead to frustration and tension. The ancient art of energy transmutation provides the missing link in channeling sexual energy for higher purposes. Transmutation refers to the redirection of sexual energy, shifting it from its lower vibrational expression, physical release, to a higher one, spiritual growth. In Taoist practices, this concept is referred to as microcosmic orbit. Practitioners learn to circulate sexual energy through their body's energy channels, avoiding stagnation and ensuring the energy is distributed evenly throughout the body. By circulating this energy, it nourishes the organs, increases vitality, and clears mental fog. Sexual energy, when properly managed, acts as a fuel for spiritual awakening, creativity, and enhanced focus. Breathwork and meditation play crucial roles in this process. When we practice deep, diaphragmatic breathing, we guide the sexual energy upward toward the heart and mind. This process is essential for emotional regulation and mental clarity. Over time, the nervous system becomes more attuned to handling higher levels of energy without needing physical release, and the practitioner can achieve a state of energetic balance. From a scientific perspective, semen retention can be viewed through the lens of neurochemistry. When ejaculation occurs, dopamine levels spike and then drop rapidly, leading to feelings of lethargy and demotivation. By practicing retention, the body and mind are kept in a state of heightened focus and drive, allowing for sustained mental performance and creativity. The neurochemical benefits are amplified when combined with spiritual practices, as they encourage long-term mental resilience, emotional stability, and even enhanced cognitive functions. Practical steps to integrate semen retention. While the spiritual benefits of semen retention are profound, the practice requires a disciplined approach to fully realize its potential. Without the proper techniques, individuals may struggle with suppressed energy or mental agitation. The key is to develop a balanced practice that incorporates physical, mental, and spiritual tools to channel sexual energy constructively. The first step is cultivating awareness of your sexual energy. Mindfulness practices help you become attuned to the ebb and flow of your desires, rather than reacting impulsively. Begin with meditation, focusing on grounding yourself and becoming aware of the energy residing in your lower chakras. This awareness is crucial for learning how to consciously guide that energy upwards toward your higher centers of thought and intuition. Another important practice is physical exercise, particularly those that work on the core and pelvic muscles. Exercises like yoga, especially poses like the cobra, bridge, and shoulder stand, help to stimulate energy flow through the spinal column, allowing sexual energy to rise instead of becoming stagnant. Additionally, practices like Kegels or pelvic floor exercises help to strengthen the muscles involved in sexual control, making it easier to retain semen without feeling overwhelmed. Breathwork is essential in transmuting sexual energy. Pranayama, or controlled breathing exercises, is particularly effective in guiding energy upwards. Techniques like deep belly breathing or alternate nostril breathing not only calm the nervous system, but also act as a vehicle for moving sexual energy from the lower chakras to the higher centers of consciousness. The focus here is on slow, intentional breaths, aligning the mind and body in the process. Finally, setting clear spiritual intentions is vital. Semen retention isn't about repressing sexual desire, but transforming it into a force for creativity and growth. Affirmations, visualization techniques, and journaling can be powerful tools in this journey. Use these practices to align your energy with your spiritual and personal goals, allowing your retained energy to serve as the foundation for your growth. The role of semen retention in emotional mastery. One of the less discussed but significant benefits of semen retention is its impact on emotional mastery. Our emotional states are often tied to the ebb and flow of our sexual energy, and when that energy is misused or overexerted, it can lead to emotional instability. Semen retention allows individuals to harness emotional energy and transmute it into a more balanced and controlled state of mind. Emotional energy, like sexual energy, is powerful, but can become destructive when mismanaged. Many men find themselves caught in cycles of emotional highs and lows, driven by sexual gratification and the subsequent energy depletion that comes with it. By practicing semen retention, we gradually stabilize our emotional patterns. This balance comes from the cultivation of inner discipline and mindfulness of our own energetic states. In spiritual teachings, particularly in Stoicism, emotions are seen as forces that can be either mastered or left to rule our lives. Through semen retention, we take a step toward emotional mastery by consciously managing the internal energy that fuels our desires and reactions. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather redirecting the raw intensity of sexual energy into a calmer, more measured emotional state. As semen retention becomes a consistent practice, emotional outbursts and impulsivity become less frequent. Men who master this practice report increased patience, a greater ability to regulate their feelings, and a newfound emotional resilience. This is especially important in relationships, where emotional volatility can often stem from unbalanced sexual energy. By conserving and channeling this energy, one gains control over their emotions, fostering healthier interactions and deeper emotional intelligence. The influence of sexual energy on creative potential. Creativity, like sexual energy, is a fundamental expression of life force. Throughout history, many great thinkers, artists, and inventors have linked their creative genius to the transmutation of sexual energy. When sexual energy is conserved, it can be redirected toward intellectual and creative endeavors, fueling the imagination and enhancing problem-solving abilities. This process is often described as sublimation, where one transforms their base desires into higher forms of expression. The brain itself can benefit greatly from this transmutation. Studies have shown that periods of abstinence lead to heightened brain activity, improved focus, and enhanced cognitive function. This is no coincidence, as sexual energy, when retained, nourishes the brain and enhances neural connections. The creative faculties become sharper, allowing for a greater flow of ideas and insights. In the realm of spirituality, creativity is often seen as a divine gift, a way to express the infinite potential of the soul. By mastering sexual energy, we tap into a wellspring of creativity that can manifest in various forms, be it art, music, writing, or even entrepreneurship. Many spiritual texts refer to the act of creation as a divine act, mirroring the creation of the universe. In this sense, the retention and transmutation of sexual energy allow us to access our own creative potential on a deeper, more profound level. To enhance this process, individuals can combine semen retention with practices like visualization, where they imagine their sexual energy rising to their creative centers. By focusing on creative goals and visualizing the successful completion of these endeavors, one can direct their retained energy toward manifesting these outcomes. This connection between sexual energy and creativity is not merely theoretical, but has been confirmed through the experiences of countless practitioners. The link between sexual energy and physical vitality. One of the most noticeable effects of semen retention is the profound increase in physical vitality. As semen is a rich source of vital nutrients and energy, its conservation results in a significant boost in physical strength, endurance, and overall health. Ancient spiritual practitioners believed that retaining semen was key to longevity and robust health, a belief that continues to resonate with modern semen retention advocates. Sexual energy, when preserved, can be reintegrated into the body, leading to enhanced cellular regeneration, stronger immune function, and increased stamina. This vitality is often observed in practitioners who report feeling more youthful, energetic, and physically capable. The explanation behind this lies in the biological wealth contained in semen, proteins, enzymes, minerals, and hormones necessary for the creation of life. When not expended, these resources are reabsorbed and repurposed by the body. From a yogic perspective, semen retention helps in balancing the energies of the body's lower and higher chakras, which leads to a state of harmonious physical health. This balance is essential not just for sexual vitality, but also for overall well-being. Through yogic practices like pranayama and meditation, retained energy is directed into healing and strengthening the body's physical systems, enhancing the capacity for physical performance. Furthermore, semen retention aids in regulating hormonal balance, particularly testosterone levels, which are crucial for male vitality. While ejaculation causes temporary dips in testosterone, retention leads to steady and sustained levels of this vital hormone, promoting muscle growth, fat reduction, and mental sharpness. In this sense, semen retention is not just about sexual control. It is a holistic practice that fosters a vibrant, healthy, and resilient body. Kundalini awakening and sexual energy. Kundalini, described in various Eastern spiritual traditions, refers to the dormant energy residing at the base of the spine. Awakening this energy is considered one of the highest spiritual experiences, where the individual transcends their physical limitations and experiences divine consciousness. Semen retention plays a crucial role in facilitating the rise of Kundalini, as it allows practitioners to accumulate enough life force to ignite this powerful spiritual process. The Kundalini energy, often symbolized as a coiled serpent, lies in the root chakra, Muladhara. When sexual energy is constantly released, this powerful force remains dormant. However, through the disciplined practice of semen retention, the energy is no longer dissipated and can be directed upwards through the spine, energizing each chakra along the way. This upward movement of energy leads to spiritual awakening and higher states of consciousness. It's important to note that awakening the Kundalini requires more than just semen retention. The process also involves specific yogic practices, breathwork, and meditation to ensure that the energy is safely and properly directed. Without proper guidance, the rise of Kundalini can be overwhelming, as it brings about profound changes in consciousness and perception. However, when managed carefully, it leads to a state of spiritual enlightenment, where the individual experiences oneness with the universe and a deep connection to their higher self. Throughout history, spiritual adepts have practiced semen retention specifically for this purpose, viewing the conservation of sexual energy as essential for the awakening of Kundalini. This practice was not just about physical health or mental clarity, but about achieving the highest spiritual realization. By following in their footsteps, modern practitioners can begin to experience the transformative power of this ancient spiritual science. Semen retention and spiritual relationships. Semen retention not only influences personal growth, but also has profound effects on relationships, especially those with a spiritual foundation. In spiritual relationships, the emphasis is placed on growth, understanding, and mutual elevation. The conscious management of sexual energy becomes an essential part of maintaining harmony, balance, and deeper connection within the relationship. When sexual energy is respected and not squandered, it deepens intimacy on a more soulful level. Partners who practice semen retention together can develop a deeper understanding of each other's energy and emotional states. In tantric teachings, the exchange of energy between partners is seen as sacred, and sexual energy is used as a medium to unite, not just physically, but spiritually. In these practices, ejaculation is not the goal. Instead, the focus is on circulating and sharing the energy between the partners. Semen retention fosters emotional clarity and reduces the impulsive, lust-driven dynamics that often cloud relationships. When sexual energy is conserved and transmuted, it enables partners to relate to one another from a higher plane of consciousness. This shift allows for a relationship built on trust, communication, and mutual spiritual growth. Instead of being centered on physical gratification, the relationship becomes a space for both individuals to evolve and nurture each other's personal and spiritual journeys. Moreover, practicing semen retention in a relationship requires deep trust and understanding between partners. The practice may involve open communication about sexual desires, emotional needs, and the shared intention to grow together spiritually. When done with mutual respect, semen retention can transform a relationship into a profound spiritual partnership, where both individuals support each other's path toward self-realization and inner peace. Overcoming challenges in semen retention. The path of semen retention, though filled with spiritual rewards, is not without its challenges. In the beginning stages, many practitioners experience heightened sexual urges, mental agitation, and frustration. These challenges are natural, as the body and mind have been conditioned over time to seek instant gratification through sexual release. Understanding how to overcome these challenges is key to mastering the practice of semen retention and fully benefiting from its transformative power. The first challenge is learning to deal with the buildup of sexual energy. When not properly transmuted, this energy can lead to feelings of frustration, restlessness, or even physical discomfort. To manage this, practitioners must engage in practices that help circulate the energy, such as yoga, breathwork, or physical exercise. This helps to redistribute the energy throughout the body, reducing tension and promoting balance. Another common challenge is the psychological battle against ingrained habits and societal conditioning. We live in a culture that promotes sexual expression and gratification as a norm, making it difficult for those practicing semen retention to resist the pressure. Overcoming this requires mental discipline, patience, and the ability to stay focused on long-term goals rather than short-term pleasures. Meditation and mindfulness can be powerful tools in this regard, helping practitioners to detach from sexual cravings and reframe their mindset around sexual energy. Final thoughts. Semen retention, far from being a mere physical practice, is deeply intertwined with spiritual growth, self-mastery, and the awakening of higher consciousness. It offers a pathway to channel sexual energy into areas of life that promote lasting fulfillment, creativity, personal development, emotional resilience, and even deeper spiritual experiences. By consciously managing and transmuting this potent life force, individuals gain the power to reshape their reality, aligning with their higher self and unlocking untapped potential. However, semen retention is not a quick fix or a practice that yields instant results. Like any spiritual discipline, it requires patience, dedication, and an ongoing commitment to self-awareness. The challenges that arise on this path, whether emotional, physical, or psychological, are opportunities for growth and learning. Each moment of struggle provides a chance to deepen one's understanding of the self and the energy that drives our desires, actions, and thoughts. The true value of semen retention lies in its ability to integrate body, mind, and spirit. When practiced mindfully, it allows for a life of balance, where the primal and divine aspects of the self come into harmony. This practice is not about suppressing sexuality, but about honoring it, transforming it, and using it as a tool for self-realization and spiritual elevation. As ancient spiritual traditions have taught for millennia, sexual energy is sacred. When used wisely, it can be a vehicle for profound inner transformation. Ultimately, the journey of semen retention is deeply personal. Each individual must find their own rhythm and approach, guided by their unique experiences and goals. Yet, the universal truth remains. By cultivating and mastering our sexual energy, we step into a new realm of spiritual power and self-mastery, one that leads to lasting fulfillment and alignment with our highest purpose.